Okay, so we have County Judge Mark Keough, Billy Graff, and Ms. Sara Countryman. So we're going to start with the 2-minute opening. I'm going to just go in the order that they're written down, and it will be County Judge Mark Keough.
Thank you, Judge. My name is Mark Keough, and I am your county judge. Why do I want to continue in this job? Some of you are asking me, why would you want to do that again? Because we have made promises, and we have kept those promises. You know, I sat for years throwing a shoe at the TV, always arguing with people about politics and the rest, until I finally decided when I had the opportunity that I was going to run for public office. I was solicited. I served 2 terms in the House of Representatives. Right here, that's right, defending and representing House District 15. But you know what, I made promises based upon what the people told me were important to them. I made the promise that I'd cut my salary as soon as first order of business when I went in. For the last 3 budget cycles, I'm the only employee in Montgomery County that hasn't taken a raise or a cost of living increase. Promises made, promises kept. I said that we would look at the toll situation on Highway 242. It was paid for. My predecessor said we need to keep the tolls on there. I said, no, that's a tax. TxDOT should pick up that. And sure enough, the commissioners and I would work together, and we ended the toll on Highway 242. Promises made, promises kept. I said that we were pricing the individuals in our communities out of their homes while we're high-fiving each other saying, oh man, we didn't raise your tax rate, but your appraisals keep going up. And as they go up, you keep writing bigger checks. I just couldn't figure that out. So you know, we said, that was important to you, you told us that, and we promised that when we got into office, as the appraisals went up, we would drop the rate to compensate for the increase, so that we'd be pricing out of the homes the people that have lived here for years and have built this community, and they wake up one day and all of a sudden they can't stay in their home because they can't meet their property tax. We did that. Barb Sadler, who was a previous county judge, told me after the first time we did this, he says, the first time in the history of the county have we ever done that. And we've done that for 3 cycles. And there's much more to talk about, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. I'm Mark Keough.
Good evening. Thank you so much, East Montgomery County Republican Women, for having us out. My name is Sara Countryman, and I am the 2nd-term mayor of the city of Montgomery. I'm a 5th-generation Texan, and I'm a conservative Christian. I'm running on transparency and accountability because, unlike our current county judge, I don't believe it's a buzzword. I live by it. I want you to go check the city of Montgomery's agenda versus the county of Montgomery's agenda. I think you'll see majority of the business being conducted in the city of Montgomery is out for everyone to see with all supporting documents. I think you'll find that in the county, about 85% on the current agenda is on the consent agenda, which is millions of dollars that can be spent without your knowledge. I think it's important you, the taxpayers, know how your money is being spent and how your county is operating. At the end of the day, you own it. It's your money. I'd like to talk to you about the accomplishments I've had as a mayor. We have adopted and successfully acquired, birthplace of the Texas flag trademark, a comprehensive plan. When I became mayor, we didn't have a vision, a plan, a destination. Took 3 years, but we have successfully adopted a plan and starting to implement that plan. 5 families in the city of Montgomery have brand new homes due to me working with Grant Works. Also, every new home water account gets a brand new Texas flag. We've got a lot of people moving in from out of state, so we're thankful to get that Texas flag. But I've accomplished this and many more as a free mayor because I have a full-time job. Imagine when I have 1 job, and not 2 jobs, but 1 job serving you, what can get accomplished in Montgomery County.
I'm the only military veteran in this race. I'm the only candidate that has a PhD in biblical studies. I'm the only candidate that has 13 years of disaster relief emergency management experience.
Judge Keough has often called into question my qualifications. He's also called into question my ability to do the things that I said I've done. I've never shown these documents to anyone publicly, but I will show them to you now. This is a certificate of special congressional recognition presented to my organization on behalf of United States Representative Mr. Babin. Not only one, that's for Hardin County, I also have one for, that's right, Orange County. No one has these. No one in this room has these. I'm the most qualified person there is when it comes to doing disaster relief for you, the people. Not only that, if you want to learn a little bit about doing disaster relief, I have to write a book on it. Ladies and gentlemen, I wrote the book on it. And for those of you who love Jesus, I wrote a Bible study to go with it. Okay? So I'm not here to tell you how great I am. I'm here to tell you that my 31 years of service to the community is for one reason and one reason only. So that your life is better. So that your roads are better. So that your family life is better. I've spent 31 years dedicating my life going all around this county, all around the state, providing hurricane needs, pastoral needs. For 20 years I've pastored local churches. I've been in oil and gas. I've been a land developer. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no one sitting at this table more qualified than me to do the work that you need to manage millions of dollars, because I do it every day. Thank you.
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Countryman on this question. What are the 3 most pressing issues in the county, and what are your plans to address them?
This has been a hot topic. Mobility. Currently today, we have a thoroughfare plan for the county that had the town hall that the current judges talked about. We don't have a mobility plan. Commissioner Riley has a mobility plan for Precinct 2. That's for his precinct. That's not for the whole county. We need one for the county. We don't have one. I like to plan and I like to execute that plan. Flooding. Y'all are sitting downstream from where I'm mayor. We've got to mitigate this flooding. I've talked to several different stakeholders and leadership here in East County, and they too say it's not been a priority at the county level, at the commissioner level, at the county judge level. They need help. So is it a flood board? Maybe one day in the future. I believe it starts with working with SJRA, with Houston, because our water and Houston water didn't just stop at the county line. So flooding, transportation, as well as transparency. There are a lot of silos that have been created within the county with all the different departments. I'm going to break down those silos and let's have collaboration. I think there's duplicity in some of the folks on the payroll. I know that we can already start saving money as soon as I become county judge, because I don't have a personal driver and you don't have to pay to drive me around. Second, at the end of the day, Montgomery County is one of the best places I've ever lived. But we can do better than we're doing today. Our mobility, the 242, I came that way to get here tonight, and it took me 30 minutes to get through the light. We've got to improve the mobility. We truly need to have a vision and a plan for our mobility. Let's get together and get a mobility plan.
All right, Judge Keough, it's the same question. What are the 3 most pressing issues in the county and your plans to address them?
Thank you. The 3 most important ones that you're going to hear from all of us, at least the first one, is transportation. We've been talking about this. Contrary to popular belief, we just developed a Montgomery County plan. We spent $500,000. We had a company come in and they did the analysis. It's not a thoroughfare plan. Also, we're going to continue with the taxes the way they are. My goal, and the second item that's so important to me, is that you continue to have the no new revenue rate that we've done for 3 consecutive budgets. And in having that no new revenue rate, we have not sacrificed our law enforcement, we have not sacrificed our constables, we have not sacrificed first responders, we have not sacrificed any of that, because safety is of first importance. This idea that we're going to have taxes in the future, as one of my opponents has said, and an increase in taxes. Why? With the amount of growth that we have, we can continue at this pace, and as the resources come in, and as they fill the coffers with new homes and new construction, we're going to be able to do this. That's why you won't see an increase in the taxes that you have on an average on a yearly basis. Again, first time we've done it in the history of the county, and I want to keep doing it. But the third thing that is most important to me is that we continue to stand for the liberties that we have that have been challenged by this whole COVID nonsense. Make sure that you're not going to see Montgomery County with a code red like you have south of the border here. You're not going to see mask mandates. You're not going to see vaccine mandates. And this idea that I was determining that who was essential and wasn't essential, that was done by the CDC and the governor of the state of Texas. I determined more businesses during that 2 weeks, a little bit more than 2 weeks that we were off, that they were an essential business. All they had to do is talk to me. And I would just say, you're an essential business, there's a problem, and you just tell them to call the county judge. We have fought for you, we continue to fight for you, and I see that the county judge position goes beyond just these things that we've talked about. It's representing the whole county to the whole public and to the people who want to take away your freedoms.
Isn't it sad that for 2.5 weeks somebody had to call the county judge and ask if they were essential or not? Where in the world does that come from in our country? Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's very important. Roads, we all agree with roads. There's no question about that. But the county judge is really, his job is to take care of the money in this county. That's my concern. I've heard we have $700 million. I've heard that. We do not. I've heard we have all kinds of things, but we do not. My concern is that you have someone who has the understanding and the experience to manage money, to read budgets, to read P&Ls, and to really understand how to minimize our liabilities and maximize our value. In my line of work, as a nonprofit organizer, and millions of dollars for nonprofits, and then gives it away to people who need help in the midst of disasters, our number one goal is to maximize the value of every single dollar. And that's what I'm going to bring to the county court. When it comes to money, there's no one more equipped or educated or experienced at maximizing every single dollar. And as your county judge, I will do everything within my power to maximize the value of every dollar that every commissioner spends, that the judge's office spends, that every court spends, because we want to maximize the value of your tax dollars. And we're all excited. Everybody gets all excited at the county court about this no new revenue tax. Oh boy, oh boy. Wouldn't it be great if we actually went lower than that because we have good financial management? You see, my goal is to have such a good management system that our taxes go below that dadgum rate. I'm tired of them being excited about that. I want to get excited about lowering that rate, doing more things, and making you happy. Thank you.
Okay, this next question is, we're going to start with Billy Graff, Mr. Graff. I promise you, you've probably never had a question like this before, so.
I've passed for 20 years, who knows?
All right, we're fixing to find out. So, EMC has a huge stray dog problem. Flea market backyard breeders have flooded the Porter Shopping Center and the gas station areas. What would you propose to be the solution to this problem? And what support should you give as a county judge to the animal shelter?
Wow, we just talked about this in Commissioner's Court today. Well, I did, not on the court, but it was a topic of discussion today. And you're correct, you do have a major problem. In fact, the entire county has a major problem. Now, how do you fix that problem? Well, one, the commissioners all have to conclude and agree that we have a problem. That's number one. Number two, we have to find funds to meet the needs of that growing problem. Number three, we need to partner with nonprofits that are out there that have expertise in those things. We need to find ways to maximize the passion that people have for the animals that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we could partner with local businesses and we can get some materials and we could build a new shelter. I don't think we need tax dollars to do that. I believe that the people of this county are so concerned about the animals in this county that together we can create a financial opportunity for you, the business people, to partner with us, the county, to provide a huge facility for that. And then we'll find grants and other ways to maximize the value so that our animals that need the help they need have a place to be taken to. That we have people that want to take care of them. But we can't just keep talking about what we're going to do here and what we're going to do here. Bottom line is, we need to triple the size of the space, but it needs to not cost you that much money. And we're going to do that by partnering with people that have a passion for animals, partnering with businesses that have a passion for animals, because I believe there's plenty of businesses out here, we got plenty of developers out here that love animals just as much as we do, and they'll find it worthwhile for those animals not to be in their subdivisions, not to be in their developments. And so I'm saying we can do it without adding tax costs to you, the public. Thank you.
You know, we did talk about that this morning. You know what we concluded? We concluded the same thing that you did, Billy. I appreciate that. We need more space. How we go about doing that, we're not quite sure because we just started talking about it. But I've been sitting and I'm on that committee as it relates to these animals. Sure, we love our animals and we love taking care of them and make sure that they don't get in situations where parvo and all the rest continues to take place and animals die because they're improperly cared for. We have implemented processes that I think are amazing. We have an appointment process that's part of it, while at the same time, when people come to bring an animal in, we want to make sure that if that animal is treated properly, that they've been vaccinated. If they haven't, we do everything we can ahead of time to make sure that they come in and we manage these animals. We also have a trade or places where we, yes, Lord, I'm listening. Okay. Lord just told me to do something. Stay on track. So here's what we got. We have put something in place in Montgomery County with our two guys in charge of that. And what they have done is they've developed an appointment system for bringing these things in to protect the animals that are there. We know that we need more space. We're in the process of doing it. But the extra animals that we have, we're not euthanizing them. You realize that we are a 95% no-kill shelter and that we send these animals to various places and we partner with people in the community who can take these dogs and these animals. And we talk about the problem. Of course there's problems. We know that there's dogs everywhere and there's cats everywhere. They need to be treated and handled. But the fact of the matter is, you know, I'm an administrator. You know, and what I do is I find good people who do what they're supposed to do, and I turn them loose to use their creativity and everything that they need to do to get something done. And our two guys that are doing it are doing a great job right now. The Commissioner's Court has committed to them that we will help them as we move forward. So these are things that we have done and are doing. It's not something new. We don't do everything right, but we're very hard on getting it right.
I don't know what else there's left to say. Clearly we have a problem, clearly we're out of space, and clearly we need to get a plan together. Do we work with the community? Absolutely. Do we see if we can find grants? Absolutely. I don't think that the taxpayers should get every bit of the taxpayers' back. So let's see what we can do to take it off of your back. But then it also goes back to that budget. Where are we spending excess money in that budget? And maybe we can find money to expand that current animal shelter or get head count. But today, we are spending like it's 2026, and we need to spend like it's 2022. Let's truly understand what's going on in our budget. Let's itemize, zero-based budget up, see if we can find money, partner with the people in the community as well as businesses and come up with a plan. I don't have the plan. I think it takes all the stakeholders to come together to devise a plan and get input.
All right, so the last question was in the bottom of the box here. I wish we would have had this one earlier. What does the Constitution mean to you, And how do you apply that as a county judge, or how would you apply it?
The Constitution is the framework of our government. I believe in the Constitution. I do believe in your rights as well. The current county judge shut down this county during COVID. He shut down churches, he shut down businesses. He even gave us a curfew of 11:59 p.m. and stated that we need to be arrested should we be on the road after that time. That is violating your constitutional rights. That is illegal, and that would never happen when I'm your county judge. He says he made the decisions based on information given to him. A true leader takes the information given and the information not given, has a 360-degree view of options, and then makes a decision. But you do not violate constitutional rights, period.
Texas is a free and independent state subject only to the Constitution of the United States. And the maintenance of its free institutions and the perpetuity of the Union depend upon the right of local self-government unimpaired to all the states. That's the first article in our Texas Constitution. And in that, it gives latitude to the state to make decisions that are not mentioned in the U.S. Constitution. Now, when it comes to this COVID issue and the shutting down of the county, I mean, come on. Here we are, President Trump closed the U.S. government. That was unconstitutional. We have the state of Texas closing their government, unconstitutional, right? We have the most conservative judge in Florida, DeSantis, closes down his state, unconstitutional. Then we have a hospital ship that appears up in New York, a hospital ship that appears in San Francisco. And then my health district comes to me and says, you're going to have 100,000 cases, the models show, by the end of April, with possibly 1,000 deaths. Now our state representative comes back from meeting in Austin and says, man, those guys just told us that we could lose up to 20% of the people of the state. So I made a decision based upon being surrounded by good people with all the information that I had. And we've been told to, let's wait 2 weeks. 2 weeks is to flatten the curve. And so I watched the numbers. We closed, yeah. And when we closed, we watched it. And what we found out? That of all the cases, they kept reporting more cases and more cases and more cases. Every day, 5 to 7, 4%, 3%, 5%. Each day was a little bit different. That of all the cases, everybody was sent to the house. Can you believe that? With just a few in the hospital for observation. They weren't even on incubators at the time. And so I made the decision at that time that I'm going to choose common sense over whatever the conventional wisdom was with the science. And from that day forward, I fought for Montgomery County to stay open. I was honored here by y'all over here at your baseball. When we threw out the first baseball, when they honor us for keeping our businesses open. I will fight for you, continue to fight for you, and that's what I've done.
Thank you.
You know, facts are one of those things that just get in the way of truth. Number one, Donald Trump hadn't shut down the county at that time. In fact, here's what he had done. He had declared a national emergency. And he made these statements. Strict guidelines should avoid common places. That's not a declaration. That is not an executive order. Number two, essential government functions. This is part of Mr. Keough's order. He uses the word essential multiple times. He did set a curfew. By law, county judges do not have the authority to write law and make law. That is the legislation of the state of Texas. So to come along, make a curfew, ask the police department to arrest you, fine you $1,000, and you can find that at the end of the order, or put you in jail for up to, oh, here it is, 180 days. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to talk about Constitution? You want to talk about Venezuela? I wore a uniform with the United States Marine Corps so that you had the right to live as you so please. So that you had the right to live in this county free. So that you did not have to worry about elected officials who have no understanding of the military or what that's like and take away your freedoms, the role of our government is to protect our freedoms, not take away our freedoms. I have friends today that lost their jobs. I have friends today whose businesses are gone because our county judge thought he was a legislator. Ladies and gentlemen, he was not a legislator. He did decide essential. He already told you that. People would call up and he would decide, yes you are, no you're not. Yes you are, no you are. Ladies and gentlemen, as your county judge, you are essential forever in my world. Thank you.
Mr. Graff, you can go ahead and close.
Okay. I'm on a roll anyway. Let me finish my sermon real quick. As you can see, I'm extremely passionate about what I believe in. And I want to bring that passion to your county court. I want to bring a work ethic that you've never seen before, because I can't half the time find these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring a passion of understanding money. They don't seem to understand that either, because it's not theirs, it's yours. I want you to have someone you can call that will return your calls. I want to have someone you can trust with your money. I want less of your money, but I want to do more with it. I'm the only candidate that does that for a living. I raise millions and millions of dollars on grants, and then I give millions and millions and millions of dollars in services, and I'm the only one who knows how to do that. I'm a team builder. I'm a partner. I'm a grant writer. I know how to work with business people outside the government to accommodate and accomplish things for you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like the effective tax rate, then maybe you should stick with who you have. If you want someone whose focus is to get it lower than that, then I think you need to change who the commissioner is. It's not a team sport. You need to change the commissioners, you need to change the county judge, and we will do something you've never seen before in this county. We'll make you the priority again, not them. Thank you.
I'm Sara Countryman, and I look forward to serving you as your next county judge. I've got a list of accomplishments as the mayor of Montgomery, and I look forward to even adding on to those lists of accomplishments as your county judge. The current county judge does not work a full work week. I have constantly been told by employees at the county, stakeholders in the county, he's never around, he's not in his office. I promise you, there will be no buffer between me and you. I am here to serve each and every one of you. I'm not here to sit in an ivory tower and dictate. I want you to know you matter. I've got a plan for town halls with stakeholders in every single precinct. I've got a plan for mobility across the whole entire county. I'm going to put a plan together with stakeholders for flooding, because it's needed. Our law enforcement and our infrastructure are the two roles of government. I want our law enforcement to be the benchmark for the counties around us and even in the state of Texas. I want there to be an ironclad curtain around Montgomery County, so any bad actor that comes in here knows you're going to pay consequences should you act out. Infrastructure. We are hurting. There needs to be a laser focus on roads and flood mitigation. As your next county judge, you have my commitment to give you 100% of my time, 100% of my focus, and I will be made available whenever you need me, just like I am with the city of Montgomery. All of West County has my personal cell phone number. If you want it tonight, I'll give it to you. Sara Countryman 4, countyjudge.com.
I want to thank y'all for being here tonight. If you have any questions about this that they have just brought up, right afterwards you can meet me right over there by my sign. By the way, when you leave, please take a house sign. It's really important you communicate to your neighbors what we're trying to do here. And if you would, I'll meet you right over there. I'll answer you questions answer these questions concerning these things. I just find it curious, though. Maybe you do as well. for all the millions of dollars that my opponent has raised and all the activity that he has had in emergency management. We've had some serious emergencies here, and where has he been? And his reason for saying that he has not been there is because we don't return telephone calls. You don't have to, Red Cross just shows up, and they come and they help. And how would you like to have a county judge that knows right now that she will tape record you and she will send that to the newspaper? I mean, isn't that what Richard Nixon got convicted of? And we know for a fact this has happened not once but twice. And it happened to a county employee, someone who is an elected official. Is that the kind of leadership you want?
No.
I didn't bring this stuff up. These guys are sitting there going on. I've been listening to it. And what I've come to the conclusion once again is that when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tools of the losers. And that's what we have. I'm Mark Keough. I'm your county judge. Thank you. Appreciate y'all being here.
Okay, we can go back and forth all night. We're going to end it with that. Y'all have a good night. Thank you all for coming.